Hi guys, Righteous Rhema here, bringing you your dose of truth for the day, and that is this. This is a quote from Dr. Mike Murdock, and that quote says, "I am never responsible for the pain of those who ignored my advice." I am never responsible for the pain of those who ignored my advice. Now this video is especially for the codependent people out there. Y'all may not know what codependent is. It's a very hard word to define, but it's somewhat a short definition. Is people, this is like a side partial definition. Codependent people are people that feel overly responsible for other people's lives, how they turn out, what they end up having or losing or enjoying or being tortured by. They feel like they're responsible for other people's pain and suffering. That's a partial, very small partial definition. But Dr. Mike Murdock says, I am never responsible for the pain of those who ignored my advice. Now, I used to not be like that. I used to be very codependent. I used to be like, man, my friend is suffering. Man, my coworker is suffering. Man, my pastor is suffering. Man, this person is suffering. And I would just feel, I was like, I had to take time out of my busy schedule to research solutions, and maybe send some money, and maybe give them a ride, and all the things. And then as I went through codependency recovery, and Celebrate Recovery, I realized that quote is so true. I am never responsible for the pain of those who ignored my advice. Now, pain, there are different types of pain. You know, there's pain like somebody losing a child. That's an indescribable type of pain. It lasts pretty much their whole life if they love the child. There's pain of getting a cancer diagnosis, and then the pain of the cancer and the treatments and whatnot. But there's a certain kind of pain I'm really referring to, and that's that subscription pain. That's a subscription pain, meaning the pain that you willingly subscribe to every month or every week or every year or every decade. I'm talking about the subscription pain. I'll walk my friend through the pain of a loss of a child. I walk my friend through a cancer diagnosis. I walk my friend through some medical, the ones you can't control. But that subscription pain, I promise you all, it's gonna sound heartless when I say this, but I tell y'all, I don't bit more care than the man on the moon. If I tell somebody my great advice, and y'all know I give grade A advice, I give excellent advice. I give excellent advice. I give some of the best advice you're gonna ever hear. When I get, and that's on Facebook, that's in quotes, but people call me on the phone, and I give you 2 to 3 to 4 hours of advice repeatedly, and you don't take it for that subscription pain. When I say I don't bit more care how much you suffer after that, I promise you I could care less. When you sign up for that weekly subscription of pain, you know, back in the day that people used to get magazines, and you would subscribe for, you know, it may be a weekly subscription to a magazine or a monthly subscription or whatever, and you would only get it because you were subscribing to it. You only get this kind of magazine or this type of pain because you are subscribing to it. You're paying money towards, you're giving attention towards it. And some examples of this kind of pain is if you're going through, you know, at your job, you have a terrible boss who hates you, and I send your job application to another job, and I tell you they're hiring on the spot, and you can show up and the lady's already waiting on you, and she's gonna give you a quick interview, and you have the job, and it's gonna pay you more than what you're coming from, and I hear from you 2 weeks later, oh, I didn't make the interview. Yeah, I got it. I just didn't feel like I was busy. When I said to that, I don't bit more care than the man on the moon cares about your pain. Don't you ever call me again about that job pain no more. Don't you ever tell me again about that pain, because you subscribe to it every week. You tell me about how bad your church, or the pastor, he's horrible, the pastor, he using me, the pastor this, the pastor that. If you tell me that pastor's a bad guy, and I've been to more churches than most people in Memphis. I visit a lot of churches. I actually went on the spring, winter, and fall church tour. I know a lot of churches. I know all the good churches. I know not all of them. I know a lot of good churches, a lot of bad churches. If I invite you to church 4 Sundays in a row, and you don't show up, and you keep going to that bad church, don't you ever call me again about that pastor. Don't you ever slander him again. Don't you ever send to me about him again. And I'm going to share his stuff on my Facebook if it's good. And I'm going to quote him if it's good. I'm telling y'all, once you decide to resubscribe, renew your subscription, and you renew better every year. Subscriptions are mostly, you subscribe in the beginning of the year, and then they keep on, you know, send these after a year, and then you renew the subscription every year. So when you renew your subscription the next year for that same pain, relationship pain. So I mentioned job, I mentioned church, relationship pain. You get with Tyrone. You call me, girl, Tyrone, he ain't come home last night. Girl, Tyrone, he has spent all my money. Girl, Tyrone, girl, he didn't hit me again. Girl, Tyrone. I'm going to tell you advice. I may tell you, when it comes to relationship advice, I may tell you 3-4 times. You know, relationships, you know, it's hard. You know, first break never takes. I give advice on the first 3-4 times. That's the old me would talk to you on the phone week after week, after month, after month, after year. But this new Misty, this codependency recovered Misty, don't you ever call me about him again. Once I tell you all this advice, I send you all these articles and YouTube videos and quotes and give advice from my relationships and my love relationships and how we got over it, how we got out of it. And you go back to him, don't you, when I tell you don't you ever call me again, tell me about Tyrone. Don't you ever tell me again about what Tyrone did to you. Because you yourself are personally choosing to subscribe again and again. And you want me to hate the boss, the pastor, the boyfriend that you sticking with. Yeah, I'm going to share their quotes. Yeah, I'm inviting them to the party. Yes, I'm going to refer people to their job. Because you are there, and every time you sit there, you are giving it your thumbs up. You're giving it your support. You're telling me how great of a church it is, how great of a job it is, how great of a man he is. If you won't leave it, don't tell me to hate it. So what people do is they want you to hate things for them. They feel like, I can't hate my own pastor. It's my pastor. I can't hate my own boss. I can't hate my own boyfriend. It's my boyfriend. So what they do is they try to enlist you to hate the people for them so they can stay there and feel like this little glee, like, yeah, that's what my friend talks bad about you. I'm not going to talk bad about nobody until I experience it for myself. You come out with clown you want to, call my phone clown you want to, or these Facebook posts. When I say I don't care, if you don't leave this person, I don't care how much pain they put you in. I promise I don't care. I'm not just saying I don't care. I promise I don't care. Because I am never responsible for the pain of those who ignore my advice. Again, y'all, I don't give out bad advice. I give out great advice. Like, I give out really good advice. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I was giving out whack advice, you can ignore. I give out great advice, great examples, like Bible verses, great quotes and everything. Examples from, you know, in media and just other people's lives, people that we know in common. I give you great advice. And I'm tired of wasting my advice on people who don't want to listen. You don't want to fix it. You don't want to change. You just want sympathy and pity and compassion. And it's not always a bad thing, but stop trying to make me hate somebody that you're not going to leave. Stop trying to make me turn against somebody that you're going to stay with. Then 10, 20, 30 years later, when I say something about them, don't talk about my pastor, don't talk about my boyfriend, don't talk about my husband, don't talk about my boss, don't talk about my mama, don't talk about my daddy. You did. So how are we going to fix that? Once I give you advice, I may give advice maybe one time on certain topics, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. After that 4th time, don't ask me nothing else. Don't tell me nothing else. Don't ask me for advice D, E, F when you don't listen to advice A, B, C. You need to listen. Because I don't have time. I do so many things. I'm working on so many like projects, like different things I'm trying to do, and writing and recording and all the things. And I don't have time to waste my voice and my advice on people who don't. I'm tired of casting my pearl before swine, so to speak. I'm casting my pearl before swine. I could be talking to somebody else on the phone for 3-4 hours. I'm talking to you on the phone for 3-4 hours. I could have been recording Bible study. I could be writing devotions. I could have been writing my book. I could have been recording Bible study videos. I could have been editing. I could have been doing my drawing. I could have been doing photo shoots. Could have been in my job, catching stuff up in my job. I could have been cleaning out my closet. You know what I'm saying? But I'm on the phone with you for 3-4 hours, crying over this person, just for you to go back next week. Call me again next week. Come at him again. Don't waste my time. I am never responsible for the pain of those who ignore my advice, and I promise you, I don't care. I promise you, I don't care. If he hurts you again, if they hurt you again, I promise you, I don't care, because you subscribed willingly to that same painful subscription. I'll walk you through pain of a loss of love as much as I can. I'll walk you through the pain of a bad diagnosis as much as I can. I'll walk you through, unseen circumstances that you did not foresee, things you did not plan. But if you subscribe to a pain and want my pity, my sympathy, if I gave you advice, you would not find it here. I promise you won't find it with me. No pity, no compassion, no sympathy. Thank you guys for watching. Please share, subscribe to Righteous Rhema. Bye-bye.